Welcome to the Horror Hangout podcast, where film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time and talk about them. My name is Ben Errington, and today I'm joined by regular co-host Mister.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, Ben. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Just the two of us this week, not the chaos and carnage of five people on last week's episode.
My goodness, what a good time though, talking about Richard B. Riddick and his space adventures.
What a good time, yeah. It was a good time. Did it make you want to go and watch the rest of the Riddick movies, or do you feel like you're done with your time with
I
RBR?
would like to watch Chronicles of Riddick again, I think, and then whatever the last one is called, Richard, to see what happens and to remind myself of them, but not in a Fright Fest month, mate. We got so much else to be watching.
It's officially Fright Fest month. It's officially August, and yeah, we've got absolutely tons to be watching. The prep is well underway. We've already got a number of interviews in the bag, haven't we? Now,
Many interviews in the bag already.
as if our coverage at the event and of the event isn't extensive enough, the fact that we're going to be interviewing people in the build up to it as well, which I think we have always done, but perhaps this time it might be more extensive in terms of our coverage. Um, and I always say it, one stop shop. Is that the right saying? One stop
One
shop
stop
for your
shop
Fright
for all
Fest
your
news.
Fright Fest needs, yeah.
Go to Fright Fest directly as well, of course, if you want to. Don't bypass them. But, we're over here. We're going to be covering as much as possible.
We sure are, everybody. Yeah, some wonderful interviews in the bag already. Not just Fright Fest, but some other adjacent independent film creations that are heading your way as well. So keep the dial locked, or whatever the podcast equivalent is, to
Yeah.
the channel.
Not just that though, we're planning plenty of meetups at the event as well with like former guests who are hopefully going to appear on the show as much as possible on the live show, live and in person show. Of course, we're not doing it live. We're not crazy. We're not crazy.
We'd
Um,
need it. I think when we can hire at least three producers, then we can be live, but not a moment sooner.
yeah, exactly. But I think if you've watched us at Fright Fest every year and you've seen the show grow and change and adapt, we're only gonna get better, I think.
Yeah. We'll hit our 10,000 hours soon, Ben. At that point, we'll be the masters.
We'll be the masters. 10,000 hours. We want to get 100% of the festival covered. We've not managed to. I mean, we might. We might not.
The day
What
is coming.
the day is coming
And then
100%.
what you'll see is at the end of the festival be like, at the end of Batman Forever, where the Riddler's like got all of the brain
Oh God,
power in the
yeah.
world slurped into him and it fucks him. That'll be it. That'll be
That'll be
us.
it. All the Fright Fest
Just
horror
cares.
films in our brains rattling around just like that.
Yeah.
Drooling, drooling, bug-eyed freaks. That's what we'd be. But yeah, we're looking forward to that, and yeah, we're going to be covering as much as possible. And of course, we'll be at Fright Fest at the end of August, which means September will be the first week of September will be when our episode goes live. But I think what we're going to try and do is post as many clips from the event on our socials as we can while we're there. Which was maybe something we didn't do last time. I think we try and save everything for September, but
Well, you can't be on your phone while you're there too much, Ben. You get bollocked, don't you?
you get bollocked. You get you get bollocked. Someone will slap you on the back of the head. Someone will clunk our heads together, even if you weren't involved. They'd clunk they'd clunk
A
our heads
Vulcan skull.
for me being on my phone. You and your bloody Apple Watch going off. Is it Apple?
Not an Apple Watch.
Not an Apple Watch going off over and over again. Clunked heads together. Such bad.
Yes, having to when I forgot to turn the notifications off on my watch, I have to sit on my wrist like a sailor, desperate for a pretend hand job from somebody.
The hand job at dawn. Ghosts. The ghosts wank off.
I have to
Um,
tell them I'm just trying to suppress the noise of my watch for your cinema enjoyment. Don't stare
yeah,
at me like that.
look at me like that. A couple of other things to cover before we crack on. Patreon. We did a sort of Patreon reboot a little while ago, and I've been posting very regularly new episodes early and ad free. So for everyone on Patreon currently, you are getting those episodes early and ad free, which is lovely. That's nice. Again, if you don't want to give your money to Spotify or whatever other podcast streaming platform you may use, it's nice to get them early and ad free. Usually 24 hours to 48 hours. That's how early they go up. But we've got a 50% off offer on that early and ad free tier. So it's $3 a month for that. That's right. It is in dollars. We are English gentlemen, penny farthings and penny farthings. Um, but it's 50% off. So $1.50 for your first month if you're a brand new patron on there.
And that is the only tier for right now, because as we were talking before we went live, madness to think of extra content when we're already knocking out the unpaywalled extra content in Fright Fest month that will be, if anything, if last year is anything to go by, almost daily by the time we get to the sharp end of it. So
Yeah.
we'll have that ready to go. And then when we return from Fright Fest and we get into September, we'll start thinking about what paywalled bonus episodes look like at different tiers. So stay
Yeah,
tuned
I
for
think we
that.
just wanted to, with the reboot of Patreon, we wanted to keep it simple to start with, as simple as possible, and we've done that. So yeah, it's go and subscribe and help us out, to keep the lights on. I say keep the lights on. We're at the point with this show where we've got a lot of lights now,
Yeah.
tons of bloody lights.
Keeps those hosting fees at bay and keeps us in,
That's pretty much all it's for at the moment. Yeah, so
yeah,
we've had all the
deals
hosting
with hosting
fees.
fees, and then we sometimes treat ourselves to a little Christmas dinner when we get together in Bristol.
A little Christmas. Sometimes we treat ourselves to a little Christmas dinner. A tiny frozen meal from Iceland. Uh,
So we treat ourselves to a Christmas waggers usually.
Christmas waggers, exactly. There we go.
Before we get
Oh
into
yeah,
the film of the week, Ben, you got any lovely news for us?
I sure have. I've got some lovely news. One big piece of news that's very relevant to Horror Hangout is Employee of the Dead's Indiegogo campaign has officially launched, and they have added a new cast member. It is Nick Helm. He has been added to the cast, which is exciting. Obviously, best known for BBC Three's Uncle, and another show called Nick Helm's Heavy Entertainment. He is playing a character called Joe Miotti. Um, so there we go. That's super, super exciting. And you can go and back the project now on Indiegogo. And as we mentioned in our interview with Aaron Truss and, of course, Danny Harmer and Ellie Ray Winston, again, go and listen to that to find out more about the project. But there are plenty of perks available as well, including a horror hangout focus perk. Do you know about this, Andy?
I do know about this.
I'm glad you
They
know
ran it
about
by
it.
me. They ran it by me, and I signed off on it.
You signed
Yeah,
off
there
on
is
it
going to
immediately.
be a production Q&A with the cast and crew, hosted and moderated by ours truly.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Can you believe it? How exciting. I'm very excited for that. Um, but yeah, so you can go if you go and back and have a look at the perks that you can go and pledge this for this particular pledge level to be involved in the online Q&A with the cast, hosted by the very, very charismatic Andy Conduit Turner and me as well.
Oh, the very beautiful Ben Errington.
Oh
It's
Jesus.
yeah.
Oh Jesus. But
It's
yeah,
very rare that someone is both the looks and the talent, but in your case, Ben,
bloody hell, mate. Bloody hell, you're making me blush. Um, thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, that is happening now, so that's very exciting. Go and check it out. We'll put a link in the show notes for that as well. Another piece of news, we got a couple of new announcements. So the new VHS movie has been announced for October 2026. It's premiere on Shudder. It's called VHS Mixtape, and it's going to be a music themed
okay.
horror anthology. Yep. Um, it includes Ernest Dickerson, so people who are directing segments. Ernest Dickerson, who directed Demon Knight, Flying Lotus, who directed the movie Ash, Ghosts, Tobias Forge. That's pretty interesting. I suppose, getting a musician involved, it kind of makes sense. David Moreau, Renée Zahn. The film features Guar and effects from Jim Henson's Creature Shop. So we might see some like little labyrinth goblins, maybe.
Sign
Um,
me up. And as whenever we discuss VHS, Hail Ratma.
Hail Ratma indeed. How do you feel about getting a yearly VHS? It's good, right? I kind of like it.
Yeah, strongly positive, particularly because obviously with this anthology format and engaging different directors every time, it's not that you're burning all of someone's ideas.
No, exactly. And giving it a theme each year is interesting because, if one theme doesn't necessarily hit with you, next month maybe the next one will. So that's exciting. I'm
I
looking
think
forward to
VHS
this.
is like, Ben. It's like the other stories of short film, isn't it?
It is like the other stories, famous Wolf and Cleaver podcast, horror, thriller, and sci-fi. It's very
Yeah.
much like that. Good
Following
comparison.
following the good template that we set out there all those years ago. I say we,
Exactly.
mostly you guys. I just came along later.
We all got involved. Another bit of news: there's a scarier X-Files I Want to Believe director's cut coming to Disney Plus in August, on the 14th of August in particular. So, this is obviously a feature-length Monster of the Week type film, I guess you would say, but it was critically not all that great, and it didn't make all that much money either. And then X-Files returned to the small screen after that. But now we're getting a scary director's cut coming to Disney Plus, which is pretty crazy, right? Pretty exciting, but also pretty crazy. And it's got a weird title. Let me try and find it. It's called something
When you
else.
say scary director's cut, while you look that up, Ben, do you mean that the film is scary and it's a director's cut, or the
Apparently,
director who cuts it is scary?
I might be a bit of both, but I think it's I think it's like
Recut by the Slender Man.
a bit gorier. So it's the X-Files I Want to Believe, Vrak Frankenstein. Now, what does that mean? So perhaps the updated title reference of how the film was cobbled back together like a Frankenstein's monster. Um, but the
Or
director,
maybe the director's just Swiss. Who knows?
yeah, maybe the director's just Swiss. You never know. But I'm all for new X-Files content. I kind of don't mind that film anyway. I feel like it's the better of the two. How do you feel about it?
Not as good as Friday the 13th, this series,
I
unfortunately.
better not
So
say both things can be good. Both
that's
things
true.
can. It's true.
I fell off the X-Files as a young viewer when it got into the conspiracy stuff. Early Monster of the Week stuff, I had the VHSs and everything,
Yeah.
but like I have a huge blind spot for the sort of conspiracy era. I need to revisit it, but you know what I always say, Ben, content's infinite, isn't it? It's hard work.
Yeah. I'll probably watch it though. 14th of August.
Oh yeah, not against it.
No, we'll go and check it out. I'm looking forward to this reboot series there, Ryan Coogler. I want to see something of that. I want to see more. I want to see a little
Yeah.
teaser, want a little summit. Come on, give it to us.
Looking
Um
forward to like the twist in it with Skulder and Mully, the new variants.
Bloody Scolder and Mully, here they are. And the last piece of news I've got is that the Blair Witch Project is coming to VHS and a new Blu-ray with a new cut from Lionsgate Limited, released on October the 13th, 2026. I'm all for new releases of VHS stuff, right? This is exciting. It looks great. The artwork looks great. And Blair Witch Project, I'll I'll watch it over and over again in all the formats I can. If I can buy this VHS, I'd love to actually finally get myself a CRT TV and watch it as it was originally supposed to be watched on a flickering little tiny box TV. Probably the first
Yeah.
way I watched it.
That's as wide as it is, like not
As
as
wide as
like
it
sort
is,
of deep as it is wide.
super heavy, and it'll kill a man.
It'll kill Stu Macker if you drop it on his head, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It definitely will. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. We've posted some images of that on our Facebook and on our Instagram, so go and have a little look see. Any news from you, Andy?
I guess Ben, as it is topical this week, we
Mm.
could take everyone's favorite trip to everyone's favorite segment, Andy's negative news corner.
I wondered if you were going to mention this, but
Oh, I think so. I think one, it's one for us, I think, to reflect on because we definitely spoke about let's not
yeah,
bury the lead. The Ice Cream Man has now had some, it's a movie that is out in general release this month. It has had some pre-release screenings at sort of Scream
Scream
Unseen.
Unseen. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
certainly across the UK. I imagine the US has probably seen similar,
Mm.
a fairly brutal reception. I think we can reflect on it. I think seeing the trailers, we were suitably intrigued by what was coming up. We had considered covering it. Let's be very transparent. I can't keep up in this life about who's a terrible person, Ben, but reading into some of the history, I know we were talking to some guests and
Yeah.
popular consensus is a lot of people weren't keen to cover this because of the, I say polarizing figure as if I'm required to give some kind of balance like the BBC are. I am not bound by such restrictions. Some really negative news about Eli Roth as a filmmaker from a number of communities who find
Yeah.
things he says and the actions he takes and the things he supports, particularly around genocides that are going on around the world, as problematic and therefore do not wish to support his films. Regardless of what you think of him as an individual, though, the reviews of the movie from people who've seen it at a Scream Unseen have been brutally
Yeah.
critical. We've heard a lot of people walking out of the instance here. I'm looking at some of the reviews. There are currently, I don't have a consensus that's coming up um on Letterboxd right now. My friends on Letterboxd consensus is zero point 0.5 stars. Of 7K reviews, the ones I'm seeing here are many half stars. One of the headlines begins total dog shit. One of them begins evil movie that's awful in every way. Absolute audacity of a movie to end with an AI Snoop Dogg ice cream song. Um,
Oh God. So I think yeah, a lot of the so it's not just like people's opinion on the film being bad. I think like it used generative AI in
which was
various
originally
forms,
not stated, but
which was
has
originally
been
not
admitted
stated,
today.
and Eli Roth said I misspoke. I think there's potentially some awful choices in terms of dialogue, which maybe are a bit could be considered problematic in one way or another.
Yeah,
That's
we
involved, and I
haven't seen
think
them to comment, but
I haven't
yeah,
seen them to comment, and I think overall it's just a bit of a bad time. So I will admit, most of the time, I think I'm pretty up to speed with certain things and whether we should boycott things. I think we were quite tempted to boycott Scream 7. I think in hindsight, like maybe that was something we should have done. But listen, as hosts, and this is a podcast, we learn and grow. And one of the
yeah,
things we've learned and grown from is we're not going to cover the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream
yeah.
Man.
I think based on this, I think when something gets such a negative response as well, and I'm saying this to people that are listening along, no judgment from me if you choose to go and see it. And I know when something gets, Ben, you've been in this situation, when something gets such a roasting review, um, there's a part of you that's almost tempted to seek it out to see just how
Oh yeah,
offensively
yeah, definitely.
bad it
Although I
is.
didn't do that with whatever that film with Army Hammer is called, the Uwe Boll film. I didn't end up doing it. I really wanted to just see Citizen something. What was it called? I've forgotten that as well, which is good.
Citizen racism, something along those
Citizen
lines.
Racism it was called.
Um, yeah, so things like that. I mean, you'll get no judgment from me, members of the public, because ain't none of us perfect if you want to see this out of morbid curiosity. Will there come a time that I will see it? Probably even less likely now there is a open admission of generative AI. One thing that I would stake my entire reputation, such as it is on, is that I will not be parting with any money to see it. That is a
Oh yeah.
absolute guarantee. I can't guarantee that I won't be on a coach to France and it'll be on the tiny TV on there
I
because
think
they've lost their VHS of Cool Runnings.
go and watch the
But
original. Go and watch the 1995 original.
yeah, or read the excellent, brilliant Ice Cream Man comic.
Oh, okay.
Horror anthology. It's really
Oh,
good.
right, there we go. Um, I think it's got a Blu-ray Vinegar Syndrome release, Ice Cream Man as well. The with the film with Clint Howard and directed by Paul Norman.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, watch
yeah,
Phantasm. There's an Ice Cream Man in that.
there's an Ice Cream Man in Phantasm. Or go outside and wait for your local ice cream man or woman to, to
And give them your money.
and give them your money.
And you know what
Sure,
you'll get
it's
in
a
exchange? A lovely ice cream.
lovely ice cream, maybe a bit overpriced. Mine. I had a cider ice lolly really the other day for £3. I was like, you should be wearing a bloody You should be wearing a mask and a striped jumper. I never ever do that, and I didn't. But it's still funny, isn't it?
That's why we want Count Binface in, isn't it? Because one of his policies is he will mandate a 99 cost 99p.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There we go.
That's a policy I can stand by.
Yeah. Also keep the penny as well when I give them a pound coin.
Oh, generous.
Generous man. Um,
There's Dr. Bernardo down here, you at the top.
Dr. Bernardo. Bloody Dr. Bernardo. Thing is, though, he let the kids run riot, didn't he? And in the end, they just took the piss. This country quote for you. Slating Dr. Bernardo. Yeah, so I mean, personally, the Eli Roth stuff, I think I wasn't entirely like aware of it. Like, just because, listen, there are a ton of wrong-uns in the entertainment industry, aren't there? I'll admit, it is sometimes difficult to keep up with who's done what, who said what, and
Especially when
where.
you don't follow. I'm not E exclamation mark Hollywood news. I'm not,
No.
and I follow very few actual celebrities.
So we appreciate being kept in the loop with that. The people who kept us in the loop helped us avoid a big old blooper, which is probably going, we're covering this next week. Can't wait. It's going to be great.
Oh, more
So
importantly, save me a tenner. I ain't
save
gone
me
to
a bloody
cinema.
tenner, yeah. Okay. There we go. That's news
Andy's negative
positive.
news corner.
Andy's negative news corner has again given us a fantastic fantastic addition.
Insight into people
Fantastic
that you can avoid.
People you can avoid, yeah. So now let's move on to what we've been watching. And I know we've got a few things, new and old. I'm going to mention one thing that we've both seen because it's not horror, but let's just talk about the horror moments. I'm not going to specifically talk about the horror moments because it is a spoiler. It's a film that's still in cinemas. The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan has already mentioned, oh, I wouldn't mind doing a horror film, actually. Who knows what that would be like? Could be good, could be bad. Who knows?
I
But
think it would be certainly traumatic. I think the
traumatic,
craft he
yeah.
would bring to it would be
Let's not
phenomenal.
spoil exactly what happens in the Odyssey, even though it's a very old story.
This story, hundreds of years old.
Spoiled it for me. But there is like a couple of moments of like practical effects slash body horror in this film, which I think are done really well, to the point where it made me feel like, oh, this kind of feels like a Robert Eggers film for a bit. Did you feel like that?
Yeah, on occasion. On
Yeah.
occasion. The thing that I really came and went with when I first started, I was like, oh, does it take me out of it that sometimes they speak in quite modern language?
Yeah. Dad. Me old dad.
Yeah,
Where's
but
me dad?
I wasn't bothered by the end. I'm
Uh,
into it. And you're making it accessible for people. That's fine.
it's making it accessible and it's a very grounded, almost like simplified, non-linear way of telling the story. Like I mean, I'm familiar with the story. I can't say I've read the text.
I've watched Ulysses 31, I know.
I've watched usually exactly, but you know what I mean. Like I feel like it's a very grounded, despite the fact it's got supernatural elements to it, or fantasy elements to it. Sorry, that's probably the best way of describing it. It still feels like a very grounded
Yeah.
story.
I
Um,
really liked it a lot. And now, from now on, Ben, what do you say when you're eating your dinner and Dennis is giving you the eyes?
I say, somebody get these beggars out of here.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that the right answer?
yeah, correct.
Somebody get these beggars out of. Yeah, I mean that is I think it's the line delivery of the year so
Yeah.
far.
It's having just a little smile
It's a
afterwards.
little smile slash like he's kind of a bit embarrassed by saying it, and he's smiling because he's also like, yeah, I am a bastard.
I saw a
Anyway,
lovely video, not horror, quite the opposite. I saw a lovely interview with the cast of The Odyssey
yeah.
where someone was asking them, if you could have a dragon or a unicorn, what would you have? Everyone's like, dragon, mate. Robert Pattinson, he's confident. He's like, unicorn, mate. Wishes.
Oh, he knows
Very.
his shit, doesn't he? He knows
He
his
knows.
he knows his shit. There's a very interesting time. This is a very Reddit thing. There's a very this is gonna make me sound so online, but basically like linking the Odyssey, this version of the film, to 9/11. Go and check it out. It's a deep dive in culture, in pop culture, and everything like that. So it's basically all the things that influence different things. Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance witnessing 9/11, being in New York when he sees it,
Yeah, led to the
starting
film.
started My Chemical Romance, which then in turn made fan fiction be written about the band, which turned into Twilight. Twilight, which then obviously cast Robert Pattinson in that, and then it links all the way to the Odyssey, which is where Robert Pattinson, when he got cast in Tenet, gives a copy of the Odyssey or a copy of some poems to Christopher Nolan and says, "This should be your next film." Christopher Nolan says, "Yes." 9/11 to the Odyssey timeline. Go and find it. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you for ruining the rest of my evening while I dive down that rabbit hole.
It's a certain deep dive. I'm just, I'll just off the back of another thing that I mentioned last week. I'm just going to say the last, and then I'm going to leave it up to you, Andy. After watching Borman and the Devil, I wanted to watch John Borman's Deliverance because again, it's a film that a lot of people say is essentially is a horror film, and it does feel like a horror film. It feels like those backwards Hills Have Eyes, Wrong Turn type films, but maybe like from a less kind of like B movie standpoint. But it's a very, very stressful film. You know, if you're ever thinking about taking a kayaking trip or a canoeing trip, sorry, down a river, anywhere, it's stressful in more ways than one, not just the antagonists in it as well. Um,
Nature's hard work, isn't it?
Nature's Our Work and Dueling Banjos is great, and it has been a long, long time since I've seen this. So
I think I
if
ever
you
have
haven't,
seen it. I have to get onto it.
it's good. It's good. It's a very, very intense film, starring obviously John Voight and what's his name, Mustachio Man, famous mustache man, no,
Tom Selleck.
no, it's not Tom
David
Selleck.
Suchet.
No, what's his name? Burt Reynolds. Oh my God,
Reynolds. I
what's
can see
wrong
how
with
you got it
me?
with Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I'm struggling today. Burt Reynolds looking lovely he's got his hairy chest on show. He's wearing a lovely open wetsuit. Um, yeah, it's a trauma. I can imagine how when this came out in 1972, some of the stuff it sort of shows, and it shows it quite graphically. I can imagine like the impact it would have had. The fact that this came out, was it the same year as Exorcist? It was 1972, wasn't it? The Exorcist.
Oh, don't test me on things like these years.
Crazy.
Yes, it is
I
1972.
just love the fact that like cinema. I know we had things like Clockwork Orange and that, but like cinema just must have just went so dark, like just so quickly. I feel like, and it must have been a real neck breaker, a real whiplash effect for cinema goers back then. Like general cinema goers. Oh, I've
Yeah.
heard about this film, The Exorcist. I've heard about a lovely film called Deliverance. Let's go and watch it. Brilliant. Have a night out. Traumatized.
Yeah.
There we go. That's me.
There's one more thing you've seen, Ben.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh God. I know what you're gonna tell.
You asked me to remind you, and this is
You
me
asked.
doing it right now.
Thank you. See, I would have forgotten, wouldn't I? I watched a film called Tinsman Road. Now, you may say, Tinsman Road? That sounds like some sort of
Heartless
um
Man from the Wizard of Oz.
it sounds like a tin it basically sounds like the Tin Man, like was it the Poonaverse? Like they've gone, we're making a film about the Tin Man now. No, it's not
It's
that.
not that at all.
It's not that at all. It is a found footage movie. A director, Robbie Banfitch. He's the writer, he's the director, and he's in it, and he stars, writes the theme tune, sings the theme tune, stars in it as well.
Triple threat over here.
Triple
Well done,
threat.
Robbie.
It's in the backwoods of New Jersey. A young man navigates the mystery surrounding his long missing sister and their family home. I guess in a way, similar to Shelby Oaks, it's got
Okay.
that mystery at heart. I feel like it's one of those types of found footage where it feels legit. I feel like it's got that feel of like early Blair Witch where they're interviewing various people and you're like, these are real people. I,
hmm
I feel like these are real people who live in this area and they understand this. Um, I was really engaged by it and I found it really interesting the way it kind of like presents found footage. It never quite feels like, oh, what are you filming this for? As sometimes in found footage, it can feel like that, and it goes very Zodiac in the final third. I would say we get some scenes with a lot of tension, very very stressful, um, and a mystery that kind of unravels in a way that's really really interesting. I'd say it's quite lo-fi as well. There's a lot of like lingering close-ups of various things that don't necessarily look like much at times. and other times the visuals are really sort of good. But yeah, I was impressed. Tinsman Road. It's out now, I think, on digital platforms, so you can go and hunt it
I
down and watch it.
believe you are correct. Anything else that you've seen or played or thought about, Ben?
I thought about bloody loads, mate. I thought about my own mortality for hours on end. But no, nothing, nothing else that's probably worth mentioning. I'll let you take the reins.
Not too much to report on, Ben, because we are now in very much in Fright Fest mode. Um, but there is one film that I saw that was sent to us by the good folks over at Strike Media. Um, it's bloody Shark Week, Ben, isn't it?
Bloody Shark Week, is it?
So
Is it officially
obviously,
Shark Week?
it's we are Shark Week adjacent. I don't watch the Discovery Channel so much anymore, so I couldn't tell you where it is officially. But yes, Chum was the shark film I watched recently. It is now available. Oh, sorry, it is going to be available for digital download. Excuse me for misspeaking, not lying about AI. I'm just got the wrong date. It is going to be available for digital download from the 17th of August, but an email here confirms that the review embargo is lifted, so I may speak about it. Um,
You may speak.
I may speak. So I watched Chum. It's a classic shark movie. There is a destination wedding in the Mediterranean, filmed in Malta on location. I've been diving there. Thankfully, didn't
Oh,
encounter any great white sharks. Um, it is a independently budgeted, sort of low budget shark movie. Go into this expecting that, and obviously we're not trying to beat the seminal work of Jaws here. So go in with your expectations set like that. I think comparisons have been made by a lot of people reviewing it to Dangerous Animals, Dangerous Creatures. What's that?
Dangerous Animals,
Dangerous Animals.
the one with Jai Courtney,
Yeah,
the
people have
serial
made
killer.
those comparisons, and we don't have the kind of star power that the likes of Jai Courtney does to this. But I'm not going to lie to you, Ben. I got quite a bit of enjoyment out of this, and I think maybe some of our colleagues in the reviewing space have been not as kind as you might be for something which clearly doesn't have the same sort of budget. I
Mm.
liked some of the messages behind it. So the people you have in here, Alice Eve is a big player. She is in uh Star Trek Into Darkness, I believe she's one of the leads in. And you'll also
Oh, I
know her
see.
from the Nosedive episode of Black Mirror, which is the one
Yeah.
with Bryce Dallas Howard in it as well.
Mm.
So she is one of the most familiar faces that you will see around this one. It's all these people in this group of friends following a destination wedding, but not all is happy in paradise because our newly married couple have found that they are at a an impasse. Maybe even an annulment is on the cards because our main character Eve is about to take a job for a company whose principles do not align with the sustainability focus and the environmental focus of her husband that he's dedicated his life to. So they're at an impasse and they're going to have to come together if they're going to want to survive.
Mm.
I don't want to spoil the plot with where the comparisons of dangerous animals and where the human evils to come into effect. But in some ways, I found the motivations of some of the characters a little bit more relatable, perhaps, than Jai Courtney's, which I like the action of the of Dangerous Animals, but overall the motivation is that he's just mad, right? He likes killing people and feeding them to sharks,
He's
right?
just nuts, this guy.
Yeah, I think there's some more direction in the writing. From a line editing point of view, it doesn't have quite such a powerful delivery and so on. And you're going to get the shark effects that you would assume to see in a film of this kind of budget. We don't have a wonderfully prosthetic robot shark to be able to film, so it's going to be inserted with animation. Um, the characters I find are kind of lovably tropey. I like some of the things that are going on. There's enough to have some innocent fun with this. I certainly think it slots very nicely into the popcorn movie shark entertainment. Stick it on of a late evening and enjoy with a beverage of your choice. And you'll get a little something out of this. I think potentially some of the reviews that mock it for its silliness or so on are being a little bit cynical. I don't think it ever paints itself as having very, very grand designs. And as someone who works in environmental sustainability, I love some of the messages about it. Look
Oh, there we
after the
go.
sea, big companies. Otherwise, sharks will come into other
Yeah,
waters and eat tourists. So
exactly.
be
That's exactly what's
careful.
going to happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I enjoyed
Chum,
Chum. Give it a watch when it
17th of
comes out.
August, is that right?
17th of August, available on digital platforms from that period.
Very lovely. Is that everything?
That is everything. Everything else, I guess I could tell you, no spoilers. We're going to be talking about lots of the films of Fright Fest. This is not a review for right now, but it is a little nod and a wink. I did watch. We talked about it in the build-up. We've spoken to the directors and writers of it. So Annabella Rich and Chris Mills and their film The Death of Us. We talked about it when it was getting funded. It got funded. It's been made. It's going to be screening at Fright Fest. I don't know if they even have any tickets still available or if they've all been snapped up. I know if you are a pass holder for Fright Fest, it's a couple of weeks before your Discovery screens will be unlocked for you to pick. I'd recommend seeing this. There's some emotional depth to it. There's some great performances. There are people who work in horror. There's some really recognizable faces, and dare I say, friends of the show. So Annabella and Chris, we have mentioned. We get a lovely appearance from your friend from interviews, Ben, the chatterer himself, and Green Party MP Nick Vince
Oh,
makes an
yeah.
appearance,
He's in
and
it.
the man himself, Johnny Vivash, makes an
I knew you were going
appearance
to
as
say Johnny,
well.
but I knew Johnny Vimash wasn't it anyway.
Yeah, the busiest man
Yeah.
in UK independent horror cinema. Really good turns from all of the guys in it. And don't let this put you off, but something that raised my eyebrow. Again, this isn't a plot spoiler, but as you see someone who's having a quiet moment scrolling through their phone during the film, you will see there's some podcaster speculating with a new episode about a tragedy that's befallen them, casting some aspersions. And you never guess whose image is associated with that podcast.
Go on.
Mine.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew that. I didn't know that, didn't I? I
My
did.
cheeky little face with the Horror Hangout official artwork, me.
Oh,
But
yes.
instead of what that face normally conveys, it's me standing, got my arms folded. It's that back to back picture we did,
Yeah.
saying, "Here's an episode of the Horror Hangout with your cool hosts." I'm like Rude Dog and the Dweebs, but no. In this occasion, that photo is recontextualized. That instead of saying, "Here's us chatting about a horror film," it says, "I reckon these folks done a bad thing."
Oh, speculating true crime person.
Speculating true crime, like the other
I love
50%
it.
of the internet that aren't talking about movies.
Oh my God. I need to find
Yeah.
that. I need to find that and get a screenshot of it absolutely immediately.
You get a
Uh,
lovely screenshot. A poor traumatized lady being further traumatized by what fictional me is saying
how
about
did you
her.
feel when you saw that? Because that's two movie appearances that you're gonna have under your belt.
Strongly positive, Ben.
Strongly positive. I've
I
got
like to support people making fun things,
we've got
and
some we've got some good news. This literally just appeared on the old socials
oh, did it,
as
Ben? This just in.
this just
Get the
in.
news wire.
Dead Reset world premiere tickets at Fright Fest sold out. It's a sold out screening for Fright Fest Saturday the 29th of August. They're completely sold out, so it's going to be a full house
We'll
watching
be
the
there.
world premiere. The world premiere of
If you're
Dead
listening,
Reset.
Stuart and Lindsay, when there's applause, and everyone, when the applause dies down, you'll hear one more clap at the end. It's going to be me
It's going
clapping
to be Andy.
last.
Are you in this film?
No, nothing to
Oh,
do with this one.
well, I don't know.
Apart from, I mean,
I
my
suppose
heart
I'll
is
watch
in
it
it.
anyway then.
My
What was that?
heart's in it, Ben.
Oh, yeah, your
Like,
heart's in it.
spiritually,
Yeah.
I'm there behind. I'm like Goku when he has to fight Majin Buu at the end and he puts his hand up and everyone in the world puts their hands up and gives him some
Yeah.
energy to save the world. That's me doing that, but I'm not physically on screen. Yeah.
It's
So, oh, and
disappointing.
people are listening. You're going to be at Fright Fest. Anytime there's applause, if I'm in the cinema, I am going to try and be the last person
Yeah,
clapping. I
yeah, yeah.
throw the gauntlet down to you. We'll see who blinks first, everybody. It'll be you.
It'll be you. A fly keeps landing on me. Seth Brundle. Seth Brundle keeps landing on me. He's getting on my wick. Leave me alone. It's actually happening.
That's all we've watched, Ben, apart from, of course, our
Yes.
summer bonanza, beginning our month of summer belters, Sleepaway Camp 2,
I know. Can you
Snakes on a
believe it?
Plane, Jaws the Revenge,
Oh my God,
a
yeah.
fourth thing, Teenage Sex and Camp Miasma.
A fourth thing. Can you tell me when we first covered Sleepaway Camp on Horror Hangout? Can you give me an episode number and a date?
I can hazard a guess. I cannot do it perfectly. I think we did it. So I will have lived
Difficult
in
question.
Bristol. I'm gonna say episode 100 and something.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2019.
2019, you are spot on. An episode 107.
Oh, look
That's
at that.
that's pretty good.
Like a steel trap. And and we watched it, or at least I did, at Bristol Bad Film Club, where we first met in person Alice
Yeah.
Taylor Matthews.
Alice Taylor Matthews. We did try and get Alice back for this episode, but we dropped on her quite late, so that's our own fault. August 29th, 2019 it was. So to this day, nearly, not to this day, but nearly 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
So based on that, it's going to take us 21 years to finish this franchise.
Yeah. Hopefully
We
we do
better hurry
quicker
up.
at that. Well, I think we've definitely mentioned covering this one probably a dozen times, so I'm glad we finally got around to
I'm
it.
glad we finally got there.
So it is Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers. Um, and that is what year is it? 1988 American slasher film directed by Michael A. Simpson, not to be confused with Michael B. Simpson. Written by Fritz Gordon, starring Pamela Springsteen, Renée Estevez, second installment in the Sleepaway Camp film series. It takes place 5 years after the events of the original and features serial killer Angela Baker working as a counselor, murdering misbehaving teenagers at another summer camp. Let's put misbehaving in like air quotes because, what she considers misbehaving, most teenagers probably wouldn't consider that at all, or counselors. So, in terms of ratings, we've got 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. 58% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 51% audience score. Letterboxd 2.7 out of 5, and some choice reviews from Letterboxd. I genuinely didn't do this on purpose, but imagine if Alice was here. Belial Carboni says, gruesome, comical, and outrageous. This is the perfect sequel to Sleepaway Camp. The cheese and sleaze is dialed up to the max, and the shenanigans are an all-time high. 4 stars. Justin La Liberty says, remarkably efficient at barely 80 minutes. Much of it is devoted to Angela killing everyone else in the cast. 3.5 stars. Sam Thompson says, bad camper exists. Angela, you what? 2.5 stars. And then Mike5577 says, Pamela Springsteen, the boss's sister, and Renee Estevez, Emilio and Charlie's sister, stars in the sequel to one of the greatest slashers of the 80s. 4.5 stars.
This is a real sister act based on
It's a
that, isn't
real
it?
sister act, yeah.
Um,
It's really going down.
Similar theme, Ben. I pulled a review myself to share from one of my favorite Australian comedians and film critics, Alexei Toliopoulos, had to say about this. Three
Okay.
stars. Hashtag girl the boss. This is a joke about the main character now being famously played by Bruce Springsteen's sister.
Yeah. Hashtag girl the boss. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Um, I don't think I was aware of it beforehand, but when her name came up at the start, I was like, oh. And then I had a little Google and I went, oh. But the Estevez sister, I wasn't aware of. Definitely not. And yeah, but she's been in loads of stuff. She's been in Lethal Weapon. She's been in uh, other stuff. Not very big roles, but she's been in loads of stuff. TV, maybe she had a recurring role as Nancy in The West Wing.
Okay.
Um, so maybe Maybe that's it. She was in a film called Loose Women, not to be confused with the
With
daytime TV
daytime TV mainstay.
daytime TV mainstay where they ask things like, "Should water be free?" I don't know. They had this.
Who is your favorite loose women, Ben?
Is Trisha Goddard still in it?
Is Trisha a loose women? I thought
Don't
Trisha
know.
was her own thing.
I pulled it out of nowhere. I have to admit, this isn't me being sexist, Andy, in any way. I find them all ever so stuffy, ever so
E-
stuffy. I feel like,
Even Birmingham's Jamelia,
oh wait, Jamelia, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
everyone's
Everyone
favorite,
else
Team Jamelia.
love Jamelia. I find what is it like the Nolan sister stuffy, old Denise, the 1975 singer's mum stuffy. The
Gloria
rest of
Hunniford.
them, Gloria Hunniford, ever so stuffy. Gloria Hunniford, sorry, didn't mean to disrespect her in any way. Thought that maybe she'd passed on, but she's still going strong.
Still ticking.
Is she still going? That
I
doesn't compute
don't
with
know.
me. I feel like that doesn't compute with me. I feel like I've witnessed her death in another life.
You've just been Doctor Strange in it,
I've been
seeing
Doctor
all the
Strange in
possible
it, yeah.
outcomes.
Um. So yeah, sorry, I got a little bit waylaid there. Jamelia, absolutely, because yeah, she's what's her song called?
Superstar
Superstar. That's it. That's a banger. Such a banger that I couldn't
on
remember it.
early SingStar.
Yeah.
Banged out a
Yeah.
couple of 5-star performances that Ben in my time.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Let's see it. Let's see it at Fright Fest, please.
That's our song choice now. Jamelia's
Everyone know it.
Superstar.
Everyone know it. So yeah, slightly confusing. There's something I need to mention about this. So if you've seen the theatrical poster for Sleepaway Camp 2, you will notice that the person on the poster in denim shorts and carrying a bag loaded with various famous horror killers paraphernalia, a hockey mask, a knife, glove, a chainsaw, etc., etc., isn't Pamela Springsteen. It's not the star of the show. It's not Pamela who plays Angela. It is just an anonymous, faceless. I mean, she does have a face, and just a generic person that
Poster model.
the studio have cast to be this poster model. So it is confusing because I don't think you get that. You definitely don't get it anymore. But did you get it that much? I guess in the 80s, maybe you did. I don't know. Do you know? Do you know if this got a theatrical release though?
I couldn't have told you, Ben. 1988, I'd have been very busy being 5 years old.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to literally remember, but you know,
Now,
if you
I'm
did, that
sure
would
it
have been
will
good.
have, because obviously at the time, sequel to a, reasonably
Because it doesn't
well-performing
say anything
slasher
about box
movie.
office. It only says the budget was like 645,000. Sorry, no, 465,000. So we'll have a little look. Releases. Oh wait, here we go. Like Sleepaway Camp, Sleepaway Camp 2 was released theatrically on a limited basis. It had a theatrical premiere in LA 1988 and was reported to receive rave reviews from audiences. It opened regionally on October the 28th, 1988. But yeah, the film was released. Oh, this is quite crazy. The film was released on VHS and Betamax in late 1988. So that's kind of weird because it used to be like a few years, didn't it, between cinema releases and
The
home
good
video
folks at
release.
Betamax are ready to go.
They're ready to go, ready hit. What's that? It's been out for one day. Get it out. But yeah, it was released on DVD, and then I think there's a 4K Blu-ray limited edition that was released in 2025 by Scream Factory. So what I'm saying is, you can get it in all these different formats if you want to see this film because it is. And again, I don't know whether my idea of this film had been tarnished by again some opinions on it, but sure, it is problematic in places, but I think overall it's a pretty good time, right?
Yeah. I think it's one of these times, Ben. I think it reminds me back to when we first did one of our early, very silly films, and yet had the most deep analysis of it back when we did The Leprechaun way back many years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel similar to this. This is maybe one of the sillier slasher movies,
Mm.
but there's things to be said here about this one, and it is a film. The collection of sleepaway camp movies, they are of diminishing quality, and one could argue that in an objective sense, they didn't start with a particularly high bar, even.
No.
But um, each of them, I think, has some interesting quirk or something that's worth mentioning, and they have a certain amount of joy about them. I think there's probably room in my heart and in my shelves for one of these collections of this series
Yeah.
on a physical copy around there somewhere.
Well, I think what this version does a bit better is like obviously the first Sleepaway Camp is kind of it's a bit so bad it's good because like the dialogue's a bit mad. Obviously needs a good screw. She's flat and she needs a good screw. Um,
Carpenter's Dream.
Carpenter's dream. Um,
Judy, I mean,
Judy, yeah.
icon.
But like, yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I think the kind of the way it kind of pans out is a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird film, but it's very enjoyable. I
I
feel
mean,
like
still
this.
one of the biggest shock endings
Oh
in
yeah, yeah,
cinema to this day. In
absolutely, yeah,
Year of Our Lord 2026, former guest, friend of the show, Helen Payne, talked about this weekend maybe having a movie with her friends and watching an old horror classic. I immediately went to the question, have you seen Sleepaway Camp? Don't Google it if the answer's no. Just watch it. Another
yeah.
member of my team, Amy, quickly replied and said, holy shit, Helen, I just did Google it. Don't be like me. Go and watch the movie
Go and
without
bloody watch
spoiling
it,
it
yeah.
for yourself.
Well, we watched it at Bristol Bath Film Club, obviously with an audience. It was the first time I'd seen it, so that was great to kind of like see it unfold and the reaction from the audience as well when that reveal happened. Obviously, this sequel, we're going to spoil it all, so we will guess. I guess we will be spoiling what the reveal is. They obviously commit to it. I think that's good because I feel like they could have easily just wrote it out. Maybe I don't know. I don't.
Just had a different camp and a different
Had a
killer,
different camp
even.
and a different killer, but we kind of commit to this character and this character's backstory, in a way. And we've talked about problematic, but I feel like from watching this film, it's like the characters who talk about this character say some problematic things. But I think overall, this film's attitude towards the nature of this character isn't problematic because it doesn't it doesn't make it a big deal. It doesn't focus on it too much. It kind of just gets on with it. It doesn't kind of go because it could have easily, in 1988, a low budget slasher movie, it could have easily done some very, very silly things. And I don't know
We
whether
have,
the third film does or the
yeah,
fourth film does.
yeah, we've seen films that came out decades after this that had that tripped over themselves more, had more problematic takes on the subject matter than this one does. Tell you what, everyone, last chance. This is your last stop before spoiler country for Sleepaway Camp. I imagine most of you here have seen it, but um, the reveal at the end of Sleepaway Camp is that our killer, Angela, um, was a pair of siblings that were involved in an accident, and we're led to believe that the girl is the one that survived. It was not. It was the boy, it was the boy of the pair of children that survived and then was raised as a girl by a slightly quirky aunt.
Yeah.
So there is a like a transgender reveal at the end of the film in the final shot. There are enough clues along the way. Absolutely, there are clues along the way, but the final review is like reveal is such a shocking moment in the way that it is so visually revealed in a film of its time, leading to one of the very very like iconic final shots of any film. In this film, the second film, and I will say very quickly, we are neither of us not the community that has the right to have an opinion on this. I can only comment on this as a viewer naturally, as a viewer that's not within those communities. But as you say, Ben, the handling of it is very straightforward. They talk about Angela's identity at the opening, and then sort of as a sort of campfire story where they're speculating what happened to the camp killer, and they talk about the reveal where they found out that biologically this character was a boy all along but had been presenting as a girl. They then very, very quickly point out that with in care following the arrest, there has now both been gender reassignment surgery that has been given, and now the rumor for these people that don't know what happened to Angela is that she is now biologically a woman and is living as she identifies.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, following those surgery. And then after that, with the exception of some problematic attitudes of some of the characters in brief moments who are people who are victims or adversaries of her, the general consensus of the film is that a transgender woman is a woman and they get on with it.
yeah, pretty much. And that's pretty refreshing for 1988. It could have gone in various different directions. I think, yeah, we've had some films since then who maybe haven't handled it as well as they could, or also like made it a punchline. I think that was kind of what I was worried about. I was worried
Mhm.
about it becoming a punchline, just
And
being,
it's not.
and it's
Angela is
not.
just Angela for this film.
Angela's just Angela, and that's good. It's 5 years after the events of the first film. Phoebe, there's a girl, a character, a main character, if you like. Is Phoebe a main character? No, just a child telling a campfire story. Now they're all telling campfire stories, including TC. That's what do you think TC stands for, by the way?
Top Cat.
That's exactly what Charlie said. That's exactly what my wife Charlie said. Every time he was referred to as TC, she said Top Cat, and I said, "Get a better joke than that." But
Or
clearly, it's pretty
Tom
good.
Collins.
Tom Collins. Oh, an old Tom Collins, is he? Or
I mean, if your name was, if you wanted to be a cool camp dude, the sort of
a
alpha
cool
male
camp
energy he's
dude?
bringing,
A cool camp dude?
yeah,
A cool
cool,
dude at the camp?
yeah, cool dude of the camp.
Because
He
he
can
is
be a
quite.
cool camp dude,
He
but
could
that's
be.
not the vibe he's going for. He's a cool
No,
dude of the camp.
he's got interesting mullet, not like a modern mullet, but like a mullet where it's very big at the top
Yeah,
as well.
got a lot of
Perm at the top,
volume.
tons of volume. I thought I recognized this guy, but I couldn't find hair nor hide or hair of him online, despite the fact he's got hair.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, you're talking about hair. Some of the hair in this movie, fucking hell, they had it good in the 80s.
they had it good in the 80s, but then again, everyone here, despite the fact that we've got camp counselors and students, but it feels like everyone kind of varies from 13. They're either 13 and they look
If you're a boy,
13.
you can be 13, but if you're a woman in this, because you'll be topless for a large portion of the film, you have to be in your mid 20s.
You have to be in your mid 20s. Yeah. It feels like everyone's either 13 or mid 20s in this. There's no middle ground. And no one's actually the age you might be at one of these camps. I guess 13 you would be. But they're telling stories around the campfire. I can't remember what story TC's telling. It's boring. Actually, I'll go shut up, TC. You're shit at telling stories. Phoebe pulls out the story and tells the story of Sleepaway Camp to
Hmm.
everybody. She says there were murders at Camp Arawak. Loads of kids got killed, etc., etc. But then interrupting is Angela. Now, it may be confusing for continuity. It's not the same
It's not
actor.
Felissa Rose.
It's not Felissa Rose who plays. Do you know why Felissa Rose didn't return?
I don't, Ben. Tell me.
Oh, well, I mean, I've not got a really fleshed out thing. I gave it a Google. I think she was studying somewhere when they asked her to return, and she just said no. I guess around about this time, maybe it wasn't as big. Like it's a bit of a cult hit now, isn't it? And Felissa Rose like
Yeah.
is in various other films, does a lot of appearances at various conventions as well. So maybe yeah, she didn't think returning for a sequel was kind of made sense. So they cast Pamela Springsteen, sister of the boss, sister of Bruce Springsteen. It wasn't
Hashtag
her
girl the boss.
hashtag
Thank
girl
you,
the boss.
Alexi.
It wasn't her first role. She'd been in a few things. She'd been in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She'd been in something called Modern Girls, My Science Project, and Scenes from the Gold Mine. Before
Scenes from the gold mine. You're found some gold.
I found some bloody gold. She was only in a few films after this, and most of them were Sleepaway Camp sequels. She's in Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, and she's in, but only in archive footage, Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor. Other than that, she was in a film called Fast Food and The Gumshoe Kid. So a very short-lived acting career. But I think she is involved in photography now.
Well, good on. And she plays such a. I think it's worth saying at this point, this film departs from the original in a few ways and sort of slasher fiction in general, particularly those that we saw crystallized in Scream. I guess in that case, it does fit in with your Halloweens and Friday the 13th and so on. Apart from the fact she isn't masked, there is no secret that Angela is the killer.
No, it's
She
very,
is.
it's
She
very
doesn't wear a
quickly
mask,
confirmed. Yeah,
apart from a couple of points where it's just for fun. Um,
but
and
not
she
only
is
not only is there
openly doing
nothing.
the murders from the beginning.
Yeah, not only is are we aware that she's the killer, but it never really she doesn't struggle with anything really. She doesn't struggle with like a moral compass. She's not like, should I be killing these people?
She
Maybe.
has a restful night's sleep at one time where
Oh,
she
does she?
listens to the
Oh yeah,
song
yeah,
in slow
okay.
motion.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. But that is, she's pretty much very positive, jaunty, having a great time while she's doing these murders, and she's killing people based on what she believes, at least, to be their crimes as bad campers. You know, in fornicating, drinking, taking drugs, um, bad hygiene, just
Being
being
little boys, just
being little
being
boys, being
pervs,
menaces, being playing tricks. All of those things are worthy of doing a murder, and she's covering up these murders by telling the uncle, what's his name? Uncle Joe? Uncle Summit, telling him, I've just sent him home. I've sent home I've sent home 9 different campers today. Oh yeah. Please ask me first.
but she doesn't. She just sends them home, aka does a murder on them
Does the
in
murder on
such a
them.
cheerful and chipper way.
Yeah, like she's doing them a favor almost. So the first person, she does kill Phoebe. She hits her over the head with a log and then
For being
removes
a
her tongue
grass.
for having a filthy mouth. And she says, like, all those poor kids are going to be terrified of that story. It wasn't really a scary story. It's just like some people died. Um, so yeah, it seems like what she's doing at this point, we don't know what she's doing with the bodies, but it seems like she's just killing people and then telling the camp leader that she's sent them home for being bad.
Yeah. And this is your cold open here. We
Yeah,
get straight lovely bit of music
lovely
with
bit of
this
music.
80s sort of soft rock.
Yeah, 80s soft rock. Classic bit of slasher music to open the film, and it sets the scene, and it is a good time. I feel like if you do enjoy these kind of like camp slashers, I know I do. I definitely do. I know we didn't necessarily have camp in the UK was maybe slightly different, wasn't it? Did you ever go
In
on
the
a
sense
camp?
we didn't go.
Did you go? I went on one. Did you go on one?
The Midlands Police used to run the space scheme to keep us off the streets in the Midlands. I think it stands for Staffordshire Police
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I guess you could go to camp, but if your parents largely leave you alone to play Mega Drive in your room, they don't worry about that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I went a couple of times in term time in school to a place called Barton Camp, which was here in the southwest. I feel like in my head it was miles away, but that means it was probably like not
Half an
far
hour from
away
your
at all,
house.
half an hour from my house or something like that. But they had
Was
like
the
a
chef a big
pool.
old paedophile there in the camp? Just openly a sex offender?
As far as I'm aware, I don't think so. My memory of it's quite fuzzy because it would have been primary school, so like a long, long time ago. It wasn't like a teen thing. I think I did go to a like some sort of another one when I was a teenager. I can't
Did
remember.
you meet a girl that you liked and then do a bit when you were swimming in the lake where you're like, hey, it's you, bebop or rhubarb? And you did that little scatting to try and get their attention. You do
No,
that?
no, nothing really nice happened to me at Barton Camp. The memories I have from Barton Camp are going down a slide and there being like an exposed bolt at the bottom
It's
of
an
the slide.
explosion.
No, 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 not an explosion, an exposed bolt which like sort of cut me on
Cut
the
you in
underside
half.
of my leg quite badly. Yeah, that was one. Another one where we were playing some sort of game. I don't know if it was like just a sort of tag game or something like that, and I leapt from one side of like a climbing frame to another, slipped and landed fully on my balls on the pole. So 2 injuries. And you know when you like imagine this, you've probably seen this. Somebody lands on a pole but then immediately flips the opposite
Oh, yeah.
direction and then falls and lands on their
It's a
head.
Jeremy Beadle
That
classic.
that is a Jeremy Beadle classic, and it happened to me. Those are my memories. And my other memories of it was that the food was pretty disgusting. That's
Did
kind of it.
you, at any point, did someone do a trick on where they blindfolded you and said you're going to have a really hard time sitting up, and then someone's bum was in front of you, so when you didn't want to sit up, you got your nose right up someone's ass?
That's a bit more of a stag do trick, but I like that one as well. That's good.
Did at any point you tell someone to eat shit and live?
No, no.
So you
Eat
didn't
shit
have
and
an
live.
authentic sleepaway camp
Eat shit and live. I
experience.
remember the swimming pool was like full of leaves, I remember as well. So like you'd
Oh,
be
classic.
swimming and you just get like a mouthful of old, horrible, soggy leaves. Um, yeah, pretty much everything you can like the way cinema, especially American cinema, presents these things, killer or not, it looks quite nice. Scenic, idyllic, um, pretty
You're a bit shy when you get there, but then you have the
and
time of
you
your
have the
life.
time of your life, yeah. It's a lot dingier and darker in the UK. I feel like everything's kind of just a bit
Or
everything's
it's
kind of
Center
like
Parks and it costs you more
oh God, yeah.
than a trip to the moon.
Yeah. I also remember at Barton Camp sleeping with a duvet that was as thin as a post-it note and
Which
as
is
big.
fine when you're in the Mediterranean, Ben. When you get yourself to the Balearics, when you get yourself to when you get yourself to the Canary Islands, then you just do need a big hanky to sleep under
Yeah, but
because it's a hot climate.
In the UK, no, shivering all night, and it
The
was as big as a
UK
post-it
in
note
the
as well.
late 80s, early 90s, you need a 40 togger.
Yeah. So
You need
yeah,
one of those
basically
Arctic sleeping bags.
my memories of camp nowhere near as exciting as well. I say exciting, I wasn't getting murdered, which is
No one, at
good.
no point did anyone called Angela bonk you on the head and then cut out your tongue for telling scurrilous lies.
Yeah, exactly. And Tip Patrol weren't knocking about because we're all kids. Um, so basically, we're introduced to like the next day. We're introduced to all these characters, all of the girl characters. First, we've got Molly, Ali, Mare, Demi, Leah, and the sisters. The what they call the
The
shit
shit
sisters. The
sisters.
shit sisters, but it's like Shote, Brooke and
So their name is
Jody.
Shote, but they call them
Shote,
the shit
the
sisters because
shit
that
sisters.
sounds a
Yeah.
bit the same.
Um, and basically Angela gets questioned on the whereabouts of Phoebe because Phoebe's missing, and they kind of all say similar things like, "What did you see her last night?" And they were like, "No, we were wasted. She was doing something with the boys." That's what Angela says.
Yeah. So
She was
sent them
doing
off.
bad shit with the boys. Well, she just telling a ghost story, telling a true crime story, if anything.
Yeah. Telling a true crime story. So look, that won't be popular for a few more years yet. Cancelled.
Cancelled. And she was telling
Yeah.
a story about Angela, so in a way, she's getting Angela some some exposure.
Maybe she doesn't want the heat.
She don't want the heat, no, definitely not.
Um,
And also
and
in this camp, everyone is first of all of age. That's okay, and also very, very topless.
yeah, very topless most of the time. But don't worry, despite going to camp, all the female characters are probably in their 20s, but minimally 18, everybody.
Yeah, but there are two lads who aren't of age, who are definitely underage, taking photos with their Polaroid camera of the girls as they expose themselves, and they call themselves a Tip Patrol. I guess this is prior to the In-Betweeners Pussy Patrol, the next level up, next
Yeah,
level down, maybe actually.
yeah, geographically. Um, and the particularly the biggest, not offender from a character perspective, but the poor actor who was probably forced to expose herself most in this peak exploitation era of cinema is the girl who plays Ali Burgess, who is literally, you know, the what's the matter? I've never seen Wicked Booze before, played by Valerie Hartman, who her wardrobe budget must have been minimal for
Yeah.
this. But what I will say,
Kebs are
Ben,
at every opportunity in this
not to
film,
be
right?
male gazy about this, the thing that really did strike me about this is, and I've said it earlier and I'll say it again, the hair on
Yeah.
Valerie, the volume
The
of
volume's
this. Can
insane, isn't it?
you
Yeah.
imagine, Ben? What would you do if you woke up tomorrow morning with Valerie Hartman's 1988 hair?
Can't bloody tell you. It's been a long time since I've
I
had
wouldn't leave the
even
house, mate. I'd
minimal
be
hair.
flicking around.
I mean, you're
I'd
not
be
that far off.
roughing
Oh,
up.
you could,
I'd
I
be
reckon you could grow that hair, couldn't you?
no, not that length.
No,
Not with that kind
I
of.
reckon give it a go.
My hair grows thick, but I'm not sure I could get that kind of versatility she gets out of it.
Mm.
She's like a lion.
She's like a lion, yeah, definitely. but yeah, she sleeps topless, and then Angela says something like, "Look, we're not denying that you've got wonderful breasts, but please can you wear a nightgown occasionally?"
Yeah, and
And
that's when she thinks no one's going to watch it. I like the jip someone gives her. One of the other girls does some classic bants, and we goes, "Well, that big black hair growing out of your nipple." She's like, "What?"
she has a little look down. She was immediately taken in by that. Another character just flashes as well. Basically, these those tip patrol lads are loving it, and they're gonna get their comeuppance at some point soon.
And Angela wants to give these girls who, again, the free world of 1988, they haven't been body shamed by the internet and magazines, so they're quite comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's good. There's a very good free and easy attitude to women's bodies in this film, I guess. I mean, you could look at it from a male gazy point of view. You could look at it from an 80s slasher film exploitation point of view. But, apart from that, there's nothing too um toxic going on.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to suggest, in his absence, that Michael A. Simpson had a real feminist angle when he recorded this film.
He's a great.
But the way the characters are interacting, it's not that they're going, "Cool, look at me being sexy." They're going, "Oh, it's time for me to get up and have a shower," or
Yeah.
we're just having lot of laughs, like we're going to. And
Having a
actually
Laura
shows,
laughs.
and passes the Bechdel test more than the Lord of the Rings trilogy does. Say what you will.
Angela basically says, got rid of Phoebe because she was doing bad things with the boys, so we've sent her home. See you later. A couple of them are like unsure about what that means, and one of the characters does a bit of digging a little bit later on. Um, but basically, we're introduced to these characters, then we're introduced to the lads as well, because we're introduced to everyone in the canteen area, which is where Angela does a song as well. A song that's got actions, right?
Oh, song that's got. Do you know what the? Can you do a little performance of the film now? Because Angela is camp counselor of the week.
Camp Counselor of the Week. I can't remember what the song is. What is the song?
It like goes,
Happy, happy camp.
"I'm a happy camper.
That's it. Yeah.
I like I like the trees and air. Uh,
Very
I
catchy.
Yeah, and it talks about things.
Everyone.
Oh, well, like yeah, it talks about what you love about camping, and the actions for the happy camper song are doing some waving,
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows the actions, which I think is good. I feel like a lot of the characters maybe would not know the actions. So we're too cool for
and
this.
they get
But
on
no.
board with them.
Yeah, I'm bored with them straight away. Someone gets kicked off a chair at the end.
Oh yeah, someone does a big kick of a chair, and Angela's not happy about that. It's like,
Oh, fuming.
I mean, as an adult, I can get on board with this. It's like, just stop messing about.
Just stop bloody messing about. Listen to me sing me bloody song. I'm camp counselor of the week after, and they do make a point like that. She sent home Phoebe and acted like she did, and she still ends up camp counselor of the week. There's a little bit of tension between characters, as like is it Sean character is clearly having a little bit of a thing with Ali, but he also likes Molly. Only likes characters with LLY on the end of their name.
It's the sort of Judy Angela analog,
Yeah,
right? Where Molly is your she has big final girl energy. She's like a more innocent, more reserved
yeah,
character who is being nice and isn't rushing into having sex with people. But then similarly, you've got the Judy analog in Ali,
yeah.
who we see have sex with several people. We'll get to it later. Don't think everyone enjoys it. There's one that looks quite painful for both parties involved.
Yeah,
But
let's not be silly. It is consensual for both parties, but yeah, I
yeah,
feel like they're not. It's not a
but in that one
enjoyable.
particular scene, it looks like work.
Bloody hard work. I'm sweating. I'm sweating out my ass here. For God's sake, I'm using a log as a bloody pillow. Is what I'm doing. Yeah. So obviously, Ali isn't being like sexually promiscuous. I guess in a slasher movie, that's kind of it. You're
But
definitely going to
sex
be
positivity,
done
I'm not
in.
going to be Angela about this. Live your life if you're enjoying it, Ali. Do take slightly more precautions than waiting until after you've had sex with someone and then saying, "You ain't got AIDS, have you?"
Yeah, I have
Oh,
actually. Yeah, no, you haven't got AIDS,
uh,
have you? Luckily, no, and she'll take his word for it.
yeah. I mean, it's like being an undercover policeman. You have to say if someone asks.
Mm, exactly. A little while after this, Angela discovers Brooke and Jodie. That's her shit sisters, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, shit sisters
they're
smoking
bloody
marijuana,
smoking the devil's lettuce, Ben.
smoking a devil's lettuce and drinking alcohol, and they're acting like someone it's like a school play and someone's drunk or under the
Oh,
influence.
when one of your mates has had a sip of shandy bass and has gone, "Oh, I'm drunk."
I'll tell you what, mate. Oh yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that. Whoa, whoa, that's gone right to my head. That is
Whoa.
0.3%, mate.
Rolling
Shandy
about
Bass.
like a couple of 14-year-olds after half a bottle of MD 2020.
I've had three Bailey's chocolate, three Bailey's chocolates come off my head.
I've had half a bag of wine gums and I am fucked.
I'm fucked. They're like
American
passing out the
listeners, I'm afraid I might have to ask you to you have to Google MD 2020, possibly wine gums, I guess.
yeah MD 2020. Oh my God, I remember hiding a bottle of kiwi flavored MD 2020 in a bush when I went into someone's birthday party and coming out, sneaking over to it and having a big swig and then going back in.
Bearing in mind of the era that must have been, you probably could have read all those pornos that would have immediately been in those
It would
bushes
have been right in the
naturally,
bushes.
as
Yeah,
nature intended in that era of the
it was a
UK.
great time. It was a great time in the 90s in a bush, And now nothing going on in bushes. I've been in them recently.
Just needles
Just oh God.
or dangerous vape batteries that could
Oh
explode at any
God,
given
yeah.
moment, causing a
Yeah, definitely that.
wildfire.
So initially Angela like lets them go and says like, get out of here. I feel like this is worse than anything Phoebe did the day before. If you consider smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol at a camp a bad thing, which I think in the middle of the day you probably would. Um, but later on she discovers them fornicating with a boy named Ralph. Are they both fornicating with him?
No, the other one's just sort of passed out face down.
Why is she getting tarred with that brush then? I caught you both fornicating with this guy. I was KO'd, mate. What's wrong with you?
She's having a fucking whitey. She was done.
So she chases Ralph off, and then I feel like some of these deaths in this film. First of all, you mentioned this already. Some of them happen off screen.
Loads happen off
Loads happen
screen.
off screen where a body just turns up. But secondly, they're pretty brutal, and I feel like the reason they're so brutal is because of how like matter of fact and like out of nowhere they happen. Like Angela doesn't seem threatening, malicious,
Or particularly even angry.
or particularly even angry. No, there's nothing like she's so for because she is the protagonist of the film, I guess, in a way. But at the same time, she's not doing things to people that I mean, you if you were rooting for a killer in a film, you'd like to think the victims had done something really bad to her or have been constantly bullying, teasing, maybe shaming her, maybe pranked her in a way. But really, everyone's pretty nice to Angela.
They don't like her. She starts sending people home, but it's really interesting. Like if you compare it to the other, I told you, Ben, proper analysis of one of our sillier films. You look at the angles of someone like Michael Myers, hashtag just evil anyway. Jason, the victim of neglect at a camp. Freddy, just a child murderer to begin with,
Yeah.
but a bad bloke from the
Hmm.
beginning. You could
Just a
argue that
innocent child murderer
he
to start
doesn't.
with.
Listen, they do describe him as a filthy child murderer, but that could just be a comment on his hygiene. But the Angela did have a traumatic time at that camp, but she doesn't. Conversely, she's not anti-camp, and she's not about people going to camp need to be punished, or you need to stop people coming back to this particular camp because it's not the same camp. It's
Mm,
one further in another like 60 odd miles away.
yeah.
She wants people, I guess, to have a good time at camp. She loves camp now.
Yeah. It seems like that. She wants people to have a nice, wholesome time at camp, pretty much just doing what she considers normal recreational activities, not anything that's particularly, you know,
She mentions her
bad.
aunt in the
Does, yeah,
film.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, of
she
course.
we never
When
see her aunt, who is an absolutely iconic role in the original. I know there is heavy petitioning with the rumored remake helmed by Keenan Thompson of
Mm,
Sleepaway Camp to let Felissa Rose play the auntie.
yeah. Oh God, yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? That really would. Hell yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's not you kind of just watch the film and watch it all unfold and don't really root for anybody in particular. You don't necessarily root for Angela. You don't really feel bad for any of the people she kills apart from Molly, you would say. Because Molly seems a bit like I don't know, a bit like we can understand her a little bit better.
I mean, doesn't
She's
kill her on screen though.
no, no, no. Um, no, no, of course not. So what she does here after chasing Ralph off is she burns Jody to death,
Off
then
screen.
then wakes Brooke
Ties them
up,
both up.
ties them both up. But when Brooke wakes up, Jody's already dead. She's already a burnt skeleton.
She's like Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru skeleton. She
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
just a charred
What the
skeleton
hell's
by
going
this
on
point.
there? Been burning for like 2 weeks. But yeah, and then immediately burns Brooke to death as well, like on a barbecue, like with gasoline. Yeah. Um, yeah, pretty brutal. Now, have you got the Wikipedia descript? Have you got the Wikipedia description open here,
I
Andy, or
do
not?
not, Ben,
Because
please.
it says that night the boys start a panty raid. Now, panty raid has got its own Wikipedia page.
Please do click it, Ben, for both of us.
So, a panty raid is a prank occurring in America, co-educational colleges in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The term dates back to 1949. It consists of a horde of male students attempting to invade the living quarters of female students and steal their panties as trophies. And apparently that's what this is, and that's what happens.
You know, what I say to that, Ben,
Go on.
theft is theft, Ben. Didn't matter whether it's your underwear, quite expensive as I recall these days as well, actually, a quality
Yeah.
set of underwear.
Yeah.
You ain't getting VAT free three packs for a pound like you used to back in 1988. Imagine now where a set of Dax had set you back like 20 quid a pair.
Well, it depends. Are you wearing your best Calvin Kleins to camp? Or are you just wearing any old
In a
shit?
time where you're going to be in a
Yeah.
dormitory with other people, even of the same gender, Ben,
Yeah.
are you going to go out in the rough pants
No. The ones where there's a slight hole in
where
the
you
in the
blasted a hole in the gusset? No.
Panty raid. In popular culture, it appears in the movie Revenge of the Nerds, 1984, Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, 1988, and an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, originally aired in 2003. That's the three occurrences in popular culture of a panty raid.
A panty raid.
Yeah. Oh, and I never knew about this. Definitely not a UK thing. And again, maybe not an American thing after the 60s. Well,
I think
the
it's
Simpsons.
because as a culture, we are more heavily ingrained with an inherent shame already.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
saying that there aren't wrong uns in this country or any country in the world where people steal people's pants,
Nick's. Nick Orson.
but I don't think we'd make a sport of it here.
No. But it seems like they wait to a certain time and then do it, and then the girls say they're
Everyone
gonna
seems
do,
from there, like, oh no, don't.
oh no, not me pants. The girls basically say they're gonna do a bit of panty raid revenge as well. They say, right, we're gonna do a jock strap raid, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, far less exciting. Well, depends what you're into, of course. Um,
Well, they
so
just
yeah,
the on the jock strap, they just pin one of the guys down and like do mock beating up. Says, "We want our bloody pants
give us our
back."
bloody pants back. Also, if a panty raid happens, how many pants have you taken with you on on this camp?
Well, like any trip, mate, you're gonna
Double.
take three times the amount you need just in case you shit yourself twice a
Just in
day.
case you shit yourself twice a day, yeah, because it has happened to
Um,
the best of us.
I think it's one of those things, though. Were you to be involved in a panty raid, is that one of those things that you've then been given the burden of admin? Because, especially, in this case, all of you are children, technically, in a legal sense, that are going to go back to your parents' house.
Oh,
Are you going to take the underwear of someone of the opposite gender back to your house for your mum to deal with in the laundry or
Oh
your
yeah.
dad.
Whose are these?
Like, yeah.
Who do these
Um,
belong to? What's
yeah.
happened
Are
here?
you going to take them back to your house? Are you going to throw them away? Wasteful.
I think you'd have to return them to the owner eventually. After all fun and games have happened, panty raids, jockstrap raids. Before you leave camp, you go. By the way, we've had a great time, but here's your pants back.
Some sort of amnesty, though. You don't want to hand them back to the person and look them in the eye, do you? Like, is the amnesty box
It's
put them in?
some sort of no man's land. We need to
Yeah.
we need to meet on neutral ground to
I've
exchange
never
your
I've
pants.
I've never had one of these conundrums myself in relation
No.
to underwear, Ben, but the only problem I have had on one occasion, which I think may still be a sword of Damocles at my parents' house, which I will hopefully never have to deal with. But when there's an old girlfriend at the time, she went away on a work trip and she said she'd nick something from the hotel for me as like a fun, interesting souvenir. She went in a couple, and one of the times she brought me back one of the light bulbs
Okay.
from the hotel, and I was like, "That's going to be weird," but okay, a light bulb is a light bulb. And the other
Fair
time,
shout.
she brought me the Bible from the room, and I was like, "What am I
Nice.
going to do with this?" Because I'm not a religious man. I'm not going to keep a Bible, but I feel weird about throwing it in
You
the
feel weird
bin.
about just throwing it, dashing it to the wind.
Yeah. So, am I going to have to, if I ever go and recover from my parents, am I going to have to like be the Gideons myself and just place it in another hotel room?
Yeah, I reckon that. Return it directly to the church. Return it to the source.
Oh, the sauce, like Mount Doom.
Throw it into the fires of Mount Doom, which is just
Maybe
in through
I'll,
the front
I'll
door, I reckon.
call in on my parents on the way down to Fright Festival, bring it, and maybe you can help me return it. You can be
Are
Samwise.
you telling me it still exists at your parents' house?
Oh, yeah. Mum wasn't throwing anything away since 1987. She's got my baby teeth in that house. I'm going to frame someone for my murder with it one of these
Oh,
days.
Jesus. I reckon, yeah, let's make a pilgrimage. Let's go to.
Don't go all Isildur on me, Ben. And like when we get to the church, I go, throw it in! And you go, no.
No, it's my Bible now.
I'll
I
have
will
to
have
bite your
these.
finger off and whack it in.
I'll have these lovely, ridiculously thin pages. It's mine now. The thing is, me, not a religious man either. But if I do see a Bible, I always open it up and have a little, and I read at least 3 or 4 lines.
You read a passage like your hero, what's his name, Russell Brand.
Oh yeah, he's my bloody hero. This guy. Could you find what's your favorite passage? What's your favorite passage? Well, give me a second. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, haven't you dog-eared some of the pages? No, I can't do
he's
that.
he's flicking through it at pace like Johnny Five.
Jesus. But yeah, we will have a little. I always have a little read, right? And I always think this: what am I missing? And I read it and I go, I'm not missing anything, am I? There we go. There's no passage in the Bible
Maybe you'd have
disproving
to read
that
it
can true.
chronologically from start to finish to get the
Yeah.
story.
To be fair though, if we are going to Fright Fest, there's plenty of preaching happening in Leicester Square,
I'll
so
give
we'll
it to
have.
one of those lads.
Yeah, give it to one of them. They're not going to turn it away. Absolutely not. Um, so Angela breaks up the panty raid. She just turns up. She's like, "What? You've been awake all night, waiting for this panty raid to happen?" During the panty raid, Mare flashes her breast. Can't take her anywhere.
Just
And
as Angela's looking round as well.
just as Angela's looking around, and Angela's eyes go crossed. Don't know where to look. Um, Angela decides to then drive her home. I'll be right. First of all, I'll be fuming about this. Not only am I kicked out of the camp for flashing my breasts when the boys have just done a panty raid on us, and you think that's acceptable, but me flashing me old Norks isn't. You're gonna drive me home now in the middle of the night? Ridiculous.
You're going to tell my mum, and she flashed a bit.
And she flashed her bloody boobs. But no, she decides to murder her with an electric drill.
This is one of my
Drills her head
favorites.
in.
She's like, "Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well kill me." And she's like, "Fair enough." And she's looking in the back. What are you looking for? Bloody
Fair
gun,
enough.
is it? Nah, drill. And then
Big old
immediately
drill.
just drills her.
Drills her to death. Bit harsh, isn't it? Bit harsh. So far, have all the victims been women so far? Yeah.
So far, but don't worry, everybody.
Mm.
Angela gets round to it.
Yeah, yeah. But I think at this point I was wondering, is there a theme here? Is there something that we're gonna
She's one of the
understand?
women that hates other women.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe some sort of like deep-seated. I mean, there's a lot going on with Angela, of course, but maybe it was going to rear its ugly head, and she was going to need to confront something potentially. But no, it doesn't really do that. Now we move into the next part of the film, which is um, how would we describe this bit with all the Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees masks?
This is like the homage section.
Homage section. Is it allowed? I'm
I
assuming
guess they
it is allowed.
never, but it's like the sort of Spirit Halloween costumes. They are like,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, like one of the guys is dressed as burnt dream murderer, and the
No, he honestly looks like it's like he's got bits of spam on his face.
yeah, and the other one is dressed as tall
Oh,
hockey machete man.
tall hockey machete man. Yeah. So basically, Anthony and Judd are going to try and scare Angela, I guess, because she's the camp counselor and she's, got an iron fist. Is that rules of an
Yeah,
iron
she
fist?
rules with an iron
That's
fist.
right. She's not got a literal iron fist. She rules with an iron fist. I guess they're going to try and scare her in order to, get one over on her. They dress as Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Pretty haphazardly go about this plan anyway. They're like, meet me here in the woods. And then what happens? One ends up,
Well, Angela turns up dressed as Leatherface.
yeah, dressed as Leatherface,
Well, no, she didn't.
apparently wearing Mare's skinned face as a
Yeah,
mask.
yeah,
I
she's
was,
got a skinned face.
yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I thought maybe it was just like a Leatherface thing. Um, She slashes Anthony, he's dressed as Freddy Krueger, slashes his throat, and then murders Judd with a chainsaw.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
The
Um,
chainsaw murder in particular as well is quite protracted. Like this
yeah,
bit where he goes, "Oh, you're come on, let's do some
let's
banter," and then she
let's
like
have a battle.
chains,
Yeah,
and then she like saws his leg, and then
yeah,
as he's like begging for his life, just chombles him up.
chombles him up. Yeah, she does. Kills
And
him, and
then
again, she's loving it. She's having the best time. Doesn't someone see her in the outfit as well? And
she
she's
runs
like,
and meets the rest of the girls, and she puts the mask on because I showed those boys.
she literally murdered them to death. Murdered them to death.
And then she
Um,
goes, where
where is
is
Ali?
actor Valerie Hartman? Where is Ali?"
Where is
And the other
Ali?
girls go, "Oh, she's got bloody cramps, hasn't she?"
She's got cramps, but she's having some weird sort of like aggressive, weird sex with a guy with one of the guys who's like, I don't know, is he chewing on her belly button or something? Because I think he's trying to it's trying to say they're average. She's giving
They
it
are in the throes of
in the
passion.
throes of
Can't get
passion.
can't get each other's clothes off quick enough. But what it equates to is her being slammed into the walls of a cubicle in the
Slammed into the
toilet.
walls of a cubicle while he like chews on her stomach. I think because it's trying to assume, or we're supposed to assume that it's a lovely bit of oral sex going down for both of them. But again, similar to the full intercourse later, even this initial foreplay feels like neither of them are enjoying it. Again, are we supposed to believe that there's neither of them that really know what they're doing? Maybe that's it.
I think Ali's character should at least, it's indicated that she at least knows how to have sex, but maybe a partner doesn't really, because it's
Yeah.
honestly like the bathroom fight in Mission Impossible 5 generations later.
It's like
All
that.
you need is if Ali reloads her arms at some point in the film.
Reloads her fists. There we go.
And then before you know it, there's a rat-a-tat-tat in a very spacious bathroom. It's like a
It's
wet room
a
in
very
there.
spacious and bright bathroom. It's
It's
got
like
like
an accessible toilet in a Premier Inn.
it's got the big light on in there. I'd
Yeah, the
I'd be
big light is on.
struggling.
That is not flattering at all.
I'd be struggling to concentrate in there. Imagine like chundering in there. Imagine you had too too many
Too many
sauce,
blue wickeds.
too many blue wickets one night. Chundering in there. Oh my God, it give you a big old headache.
Oh, but you know what, Ben? I will stand by the fact it would have been absolutely bliss. Sometimes after you've been sick in a toilet, lying down on a cold bathroom floor, a single tear rolling down your face.
Not a tear of sadness. Not that you've been
Oh,
crying.
a tear of retching, a
A
retching.
tear of retching. Exactly. Yeah, we've all been there, and it's because you go, "Oh, I feel better now."
Yeah.
All
For a few
what?
moments until I feel sick again. This is the
Oh,
best I've ever felt.
but and sometimes I fall asleep there. You ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, fall asleep there. And he'd always wake up freezing. Anyway, maybe reason number 508 that I'm a sober man these days.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's a knocking at the door. Ali gets her partner, whose name I haven't committed to memory, to stand on the toilet to hide while she puts on
yeah,
a high-rise jeans and answers the door.
answers the door. And Angela is like, what you been bloody doing in there? Obviously, I guess Angela's just desperate to catch her in the act so she can send her home slash kill her. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah. And she's like, no, I've got cramps. That's why I was saying, oh God, the whole
Yeah.
time.
Oh God, I've got cramps. So Angela pretty much goes, right, I'm gonna get her. So she sets a trap for her the next day, which is like a
I think
sign.
she agrees to this. This is sort of the ongoing, I don't know why it is, the the recreation of the Angela Judy rivalry between Molly and Ali,
Yeah,
where the guy that
yeah,
Molly
you're
is
right.
kind of seeing, her camp sweetheart,
Yeah,
she asks Ali, like Molly goes up and says, oh, do you want to play a bit of catch? And she goes, listen, let's not pretend that you don't hate me as much as I hate you,
yeah,
and you're still going out with that boy. And so he's crap at sex anyway. And Molly is upset, and she talks to Angela about it, and she gets the look in her eyes.
yeah.
And we do know that Ali hasn't slept with the boy, because then when she gets this note from the
Mm,
boy saying, "Meet me at this suspiciously abandoned cabin
yep,
today," she goes like, "Fuck yeah,
yeah.
I'm in." And
I'm
this
in.
is before she sees the note. This is where she's had sex with another one of the boys, where neither of them looks to be enjoying it because
Oh yeah, that was when he was lying on his back, head on the log, sweating profusely, um, really struggling to get there. I think they were both they were both really struggling to get there.
yeah,
You know.
really, really struggling to take it, to reach any kind of crescendo here.
Yeah, yeah, really struggling. I was like, yeah, mate, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all
The
been there.
the atmosphere sometimes you don't want to stop because someone's going to be embarrassed, but
Yeah,
but uh, sometimes you just think you should leave it.
just leave it. I'll leave it there, actually. That's fine. I've had enough.
Yeah.
No, don't fake
Oh,
it. Whatever you do, don't
actually,
fake it.
I think a sleep would probably.
Yeah, just a little sleep. We'll pick this up. We'll pick this up in an hour or two. That would be better. But yeah, so she goes up to the little place, doesn't she? Oh wait, no, before that. So I think oh no, wait. This does happen next. So this is when she goes there, knocks on the door. Angela comes out. Haha, set you a trap, you dirty bitch.
He goes, "Ah, you dirty bitch," and then gets stabbed in the back really casually.
Yeah, stabs
Aha.
again. That's why the violence feels really like like the matter of fact nature of like violence in films. Sometimes the most shocking is like sometimes how casually it happens. I'll find like some of the most shocking moments of violence in films. I've mentioned it already. Zodiac, that moment in the Zodiac movie where the Zodiac killer ties up that couple and then just starts proceeding to stab them both in the back. The way that happens with like next to no build up. Well, there is build up obviously, but next to no warning essentially. This feels like that as well. Like, get stabbed. I feel like that is always more effective than like a killer chasing someone down
Yeah.
and like,
The slow insert of the knife. She basically just
yeah, stabbed. And you're
stabbed
like,
in the back and then goes, "Here, get up." What? I've just
because
been
I feel like
stabbed.
you'd react. You always hear stories about when people get stabbed, they always think that they've just been hit. They're always like, yeah. And then he started punching me, and then I realized, oh my God, I've been stabbed. And it feels a bit like that, like a bit more nasty, realistic.
Yeah.
Um, But then, in terms of nastiness, then forces her down the outhouse into the pit,
Do you
drowning
reckon
her in
Angela
human.
has rehearsed this?
Yeah, drowning her in human waste and
Well,
leeches
she
as
puts her
well.
head down. The toilet goes, "What do you see down there, then, eh?"
Oh
She goes,
God,
"Oh,
yeah.
shit, shit, your favorite word, actually,
Oh
because
God,
you've been
yeah.
a shit friend and a shit camper. What else is down there?"
I wouldn't answer at that point if I'd
It'd
said
be like,
shit and I'd been taken and she'd really ripped into me like that. I wouldn't say piss. I'd go and other stuff.
yeah, that's what she's got, and she's ready for that eventuality as well, Ben. She'd be like, "Don't try and no but me, Ben. This is a
Oh
yes
man.
and situation. Because Ali goes, well, what else down there? Ali goes, piss? He goes, yeah. Like you've pissed away your chances.
Ah, she's absolutely done
Good
her
thing.
in.
And then she goes, what else is down there? I don't know, other stuff. When she plays the Ben Errington card, I don't know, other stuff, she goes, other stuff, is it? You better go down there and find out. Shoves her down the toilet.
Ah, done in.
And she goes,
This
yeah,
is horrible. This is like a
leeches are
nightmare.
down there. Leeches like bloody you. Now get drowned.
Oh, this is a nightmare because I've been to Glastonbury Festival. I've used the long drop toilets. I've seen. We all have a little look, you know. We can't help it. You have a little wee down there, and then you have a have a little gaze down there to see what horrors there may be.
I sometimes, Ben, make a little game of it and
Please don't.
I'll like pick a particular piece of waste
Yeah,
down that toilet,
I know what you
and
mean.
then I will pretend I am the laser from Goldfinger and see if I can cut it with a righteous
No.
stream.
Why did you say cat? With a righteous stream. That's what they call you, the laser from Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Here he
Yeah, I'm not,
comes.
or maybe if you're younger, maybe I'm the big sun laser from Die Another Day, chasing a James Bond car made of feces across the
Oh,
Arctic
it's
tundra.
horrible. I don't like this analogy. I'm not enjoying it. Got James
Kill
Bond
Buchanan
car.
style, guys. Try it yourself. It's a good way to add entertainment to what might be the most mundane bit of a music festival.
You don't always have to do it at a music festival either. You can take this idea and just put it into your house. You know, sometimes if there's something upon the toilet, cistern, not the cistern, what am I thinking of?
In the
Bowl,
bowl.
in the bowl. Sometimes you think of yourself as a cleaner. I mean, you are a cleaner because you probably clean your own toilet, but you know,
Yeah. Oh, in your home, of course. I expect everyone in
yeah,
the bathroom.
yeah.
You guys are toilet ducked up to the nines. I know. But sometimes we all go to a public toilet, which are sometimes, despite what the inspection charts say, not in the best of
I don't know how
cleanliness.
I feel about doing it in public though, because I feel like I don't want to mess with someone else's stain.
If you can do it with your wee Ben, that's fine.
I just heard that sentence. I heard that sentence come out of my mouth. Right, move on. Kills her in the outhouse pit. She pops her head out. She's covered in shit and leeches. And then yeah, she's done in. How does she finish her off? Just drowns
Just
her.
keeps plunging her into the toilet until she's had enough.
Yeah. Then we get a moment where there's a character called Demi, who I feel like Demi's kind of like underused in this film. She's got a lot of lines in the initial opening scenes talking about Phoebe, and it's only really now that she says anything else. And she basically reveals to Angela that she phoned the families of the campers who were sent home and discovered that the girls aren't at home. So they should still be at camp. But the way she's saying it isn't she's not like accusing Angela of anything or
Just a bit
even
of gossip, right?
just a bit. It's like just a bit of gossip. Like she's going, "Where are they?" I don't think she thinks that they're dead. I think she just thinks something's afoot. But Angela,
Testing
no,
weapons in the background.
no loose ends. Absolutely no loose ends. Yeah, she tests a few weapons and decides to go at Demi with a guitar string,
Yeah.
and strangles her to death.
She
And
garrots her like ancient murder victim Lindo man.
yeah. Oh wait, Angela using a guitar string, homage to Bruce, her brother.
Yeah.
Um, and then Leah comes in and
Just a victim of
finds.
circumstance, right? She goes, you were gonna tell. Stabbed.
I love it when people in this situation say, "No, I wasn't going to tell," like as if you wouldn't leave that situation and go, "Well, now I'll keep that secret forever in case I do get killed." Immediately tell. So Leah gets stabbed to death when she finds Demi's body. Um, Now there's been this going on. We haven't mentioned it, but Uncle John, who's like a head counselor, has told Angela several times so far,
Just stop sending people
stop
home.
sending campers home. You haven't got the authority to do that. Please run it by me or at least other head counselor, TC, which
Top
stands
Cat
for which stands for Top Cat,
or Tom Collins.
Tom Collins. Basically, stop doing that. Now at this point, obviously, half a dozen have been sent home. So Uncle John and TC decide to fire Angela for sending too many campers home. How does Angela react?
Justifiably upset as a little cry.
Justifiably upset, has a little cry. Is this when she has a dream, or has that already happened?
Um, I think it's she has a conversation with Molly. Where she says like beforehand, like I had to send them all home. I didn't have a choice, and I think then she lies down
Yeah.
and like a blue tinged slow motion version of her camp song plays
Mm,
while she does some imagining of all the murders.
what a great song. So it does it we do kind of understand that she's got remorse in a way, but I guess her saying I had no choice but to send them home is kind of like her kind of understanding of the situation, which is warped because she's a murderer. Seems to be that I guess she feels like she has to do it, or she's doing a service or
To
committing
preserve the sanctity of camp.
to preserve the sanctity of camp. Exactly, exactly. So what happens is Molly and Sean go into the woods to cheer up Angela because I guess she's gone up into the woods to go, right, that's it. I'm going to live out the rest of my days in this little shack.
Just me and the kids from now on.
Just me and the kids from now on. Don't bloody text me. Don't send anyone up here. Do you know, Angela, haven't you got home to go to? Because I feel like by being fired, it means leave that entire camp.
We said we have to leave by lunchtime.
Okay. That's still that's not a long time, is it?
No,
Leave.
arrange transport from the wilderness.
Yeah. Who you gonna phone? So they go into the woods to cheer her up, but the pair then discover all of the bodies of the campers in this place. Obviously, some have been killed off screen, some have been killed on screen, but in their various stages of burned, drowned, stabbed, throat slit,
Who's the body in the
chainsawed.
sleeping bag?
I don't know. I don't know actually. It could be any of them. Could be
I was going
Mia.
back over it and go, who was it? Did you get anyone in the sleeping bag? The Freddy guy is in there. All the
Yeah.
others I
Maybe
recognize.
she put one in a sleeping bag. Yeah, I don't know. Was it the first one? Maybe. Because do we see
Oh,
Phoebe? We don't think we see
it's hard to
Phoebe.
say. But yeah, there's a whole load of stacked up bodies.
And again,
Um,
maybe she's killed other people at some point as well. We don't know. We don't know the history of this. Is this her first time at the camp? Is this her first season? I don't know. It's
but
5 years
it's
later.
Chockers. Well, she was in prison for 4 years and then had surgery.
Ah, okay.
So
In
this is her
prison,
first
had
summer out.
surgery, came out, become a camp counselor. No questions asked.
CRB checks aren't what they are now.
No. Um, feel pretty bad for old what's her name here, Molly and Sean, because
Molly.
they're despite that they haven't done anything wrong.
Sean quite like he really likes Molly, so he goes along to try and convince her. He does make the mistake of breaking into curiosity that he kills the cat.
Curiosity killed the top cat. No, he turns up in a minute. Angela ties them up. Um, I
I
don't know.
love this bit.
I don't know how or why, but TC decides to go after them. I think he finds out
Thinking,
where.
where's Angela? One of the other boys has heard that's what they're doing, and he goes up to
Yeah.
confront Angela
Now there was a
about
moment
it.
earlier as well where someone read out all of the missing items from around the camp. There was like pair of pants, pair of jock straps, my car battery,
A load of tinnies.
load of tinnies, and it does turn out that Angela has obviously not all of those things she was responsible for, but Angela has collected a few items to use, including the car battery, because she froze battery acid in old TC's face. It says here,
After the
killing him instantly. I mean, he has there's some moments of agony before he dies. He doesn't just get battery in the face, collapse, dead,
puff
dead.
of smoke. She battery acids him
Yeah,
in the face. And this is when she is makes Freddy Krueger look like a stoic guy. And she has done this through, like, when she chainsawed the tall hockey mask killer
yeah,
um in the woods. She goes, once I start a job, I always when she's all full of like positive affirmations.
yeah. And then she says, "I
Uh,
knew that battery was going to come in
and she's,
handy."
oh, can I get you a second glass?
Oh my God,
Good host.
good host, such a good host. This kind of like cabin is a bit gnarly. Again, it is like something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, isn't it? With all the bodies kind of propped up and sort of gathered around as if they're her friends, I guess.
Talk us through this next kill, Ben, when a young man is very quickly replaced by a dummy.
Oh, what the decapitation? How Sean gets
Yeah.
decapitated? Yeah. So there's like a realization now that, oh my God, you're the murderer from Camp Arawak 5 years earlier. I can't believe it. I can't remember how the head gets cut off. How does that happen?
Sean's dad was one of the. Sean reveals that his
Oh
dad was
yeah,
one of the policemen who
of
was part
course.
of
Yeah, yeah,
Angela's arrest. He goes, "You're not Angela, whatever your name is in this. You're Angela Baker, famous murderer."
yeah.
And she goes, "True, but actually, I'm cured. Guess what? I'm going to turn around and pick up a machete while you're off camera for a second." It gives me the same vibes as, in Scooby-Doo when something is going to be in like the old cartoons, when something is going to be interactive with,
Oh
it is
yeah,
on an animation cell separate from the
yeah.
background,
You
so
can
you
see it.
see it. And when she comes back around, Sean has been replaced by someone sitting forward to have his head cut off, never extended to its fullest degree. And she just brings the machete down, chops off his head.
Yeah,
Um, and then moments later, when she's trying to convince Molly to eat, saying, "Listen, I'm gonna go and do some murder admin, bring
yeah.
another dead body along here from someone else I've killed. But don't worry, Sean will keep you company. Here he is on bloody telly.
Oh God, yeah.
Look who's on the cheer up, mate.
She
Look who's
loves
on the
it.
telly."
She loves it. She loves winding people up. But again, apart from the murders, everything else she does is in good faith, I believe.
I think actually people give Angela a hard time for being like a real hard ass or a proper, they'd call her Buzz Killington.
Buzz
She's not.
Killington, yeah.
She's actually got some.
What's
She's
she
got
trying to
some banter.
what's she trying to feed Molly as well? Just like a load of
Guac.
yeah, I mean, it's not nice. I was like, no matter what what I've only been here 20 minutes. Why are you feeding me? I don't need to be fed. I know you're being a good host, but my God, give me a break. Um, so what happens after that? So Angela leaves the cabin. Molly manages to free herself. Wasn't tied very well. Um, she didn't.
Angela sees her running away. She chases after her, but insists that she's not going to hurt Molly.
Yeah, she insists, I'm not going to hurt you. Which I don't know. Do you believe her?
Um,
I feel like she kills witnesses. Angela
but
does.
on this one, she does like Molly stabs Angela while trying to escape, finds a way to like a precipice in the woods,
Yeah.
but then when Molly falls over and is inverted commas dead, Angela sort of says,
Doesn't finish her off.
"Oh,
Yeah.
oh no." She seems, when there's no one else there to talk to, she seems disappointed that she's fallen. It's like, "Oh, you almost made it. Sorry."
It's because she's like killed everybody. I mean, there's a bit like later where Molly, well, during this chase, where Molly like goes down to the main part of the camp again, and literally everyone in there is dead, right?
Yeah. Uncle John had his hand chopped off while trying to make a phone call.
Yeah.
The boy that told TC earlier
Yeah.
um where Molly had gone to catch up with Angela, he's been like turned into like a he's like been hanged kind of thing, and had like a tea towel stuck in his mouth, made his face all big and swollen.
Yeah. Yeah. When did she do this?
Well, we see her later, like we see another scene where actually no, you know what? It's not Molly that's going into that. We see another camp counselor.
Yeah, you're. Oh, the one with short hair, the one who looks a
Yeah,
little bit like her from the end of Ghostbusters. What's her name?
Zool,
Zool.
not
Yeah.
Zool. Yeah, is it Zool? Gozer.
Gozer. Yeah, it looks a bit like Gozer with the held haircut. Very 80s.
Yeah,
Short back
so
and
goes
sides. She's the one who
camp
gets
counselor
done.
Gozer is maybe she's the lady that's going to take over as the counselor from Angela. She is there and she discovers Uncle John's body and the boy's body, only for Angela to come in and go, "Right, I've done enough creative kills. Let me just repeatedly stab you in the stomach."
Yeah, I think you get bored when you have all the creative kills. You know, she's done a good variation of kills. So there we go. But she's pretty much killed everyone. Like
I
if you
Yeah,
100% death. You know, like when you play a game, sometimes do you leave some enemies alive or do you want to kill everyone?
I want to kill everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's playing
When I'm
a
playing Doom, I'm Angela. I imagine that imp has
yeah.
been fornicating. Blow him away.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to kill everything in Doom because even the little tiny demons will find you at your weakest with one hit point left and do you in. So
Yeah,
you got to
so
kill
you got to
everyone.
get him. Yeah, and the Tit Patrol, self-titled, I wouldn't call them that. they're she's killed them and glued them to the window.
That was, what message does that send? Killing the tip patrol and gluing them to the window. The very thing they were using to spy on naked ladies.
She's got a sense of irony, and like even when she busts them earlier in the film with the photos, and they're like,
Oh God,
"Oh, well, the
yeah.
photos of
Oh,
Angela in
so
there." They're
awkward,
like,
isn't it?
"Yeah, friend, so afraid so."
Oh, that's so awkward. I felt the awkwardness in that moment. And I mean, it's more than awkwardness.
She's stuck them to the window, but irony upon ironies, even though she's placed them where they would like to be the most, she has glued their eyes closed so they can't even see.
Yeah. Take that, tip patrol. Um, so not long after this, as you said, when Molly falls onto a rock, is presumed dead, and Angela like leaves her, so we believe that everything's okay. Um,
The night goes on. It turns out Molly was just poorly temporarily.
Molly was just poorly temporarily, yeah. Because we see Angela hitching a ride as well. She's basically getting into a car and going like, "Take me wherever." So we think Angela's done. She's done with the killing. She's leaving Molly alive, but it feels like that's not what she's doing at all. The driver annoys her, so she kills her. What does the
Yeah,
driver say?
she's bloody having a tab, isn't she?
Oh yeah, having a tab and just
Having the old, she's punching a dart, and um, she's Angela's like, "You mind cracking a bloody window?"
oh yeah, crack a bloody window, would you? I don't want your secondhand smoke all over me. God damn it.
And she goes, "No, actually, I love my car stinking of fags."
Yeah.
Um, and she's Dot Cotton it in there, absolutely blazing away. And Angela jumps up and just stabs her up, and then takes a car. And then a final shot of the film: Molly, bedraggled, desperate, finds a way back to the camp headquarters, sees a lovely pickup pull outside,
Mm.
and says, "Thank bloody
Thank
goodness
the
you're here."
Lord.
And who should lean out, jolly as you like, in a cowboy hat? Didn't she? Isn't her final line of the film like "Howdy, howdy, partner"?
Howdy, partner. Oh yeah, we forgot. The driver of the car originally says the iconic line, "No skin off my tits."
Yeah, classic.
She goes, "Well, you sure you don't mind driving me?" "Well, it's no skin off my tits." And I go, "That's a great. I'm going to add that to my vocabulary." And there we
Yeah,
go. That's it. That's the end. Final line is like, "Howdy, partner." Does it end on a freeze frame? Have I imagined that? It should do. Um,
yeah, and then it goes into sort of lovely rock finish.
a lovely rock finish, and I think there is a post-credit sequence as well where Angela says something. I can't remember what she says. She's like leaving a door and says something like, "Until next time" or something like that.
Oh, Angela will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Angela will return in Avengers Doomsday, but that's the end. That is the end of Sleepaway Camp 2. Unhappy campers. I'd say everyone left is pretty much an unhappy camper because they're dead. There's no one left to be happy. We're assuming Molly does die.
Yeah,
I don't know if she comes
I'm gonna have
back
to
in
revisit Sleepaway Camp 3 to see if
Sleepaway Camp 3. Yeah, let's have a look.
I think she
Yeah,
is also in.
it does look like Angela is obviously in part 3, but no Molly. No Molly. Looks like Molly's not around. So we're
Yeah.
assuming she's dead. Rate the film. It's time to rate the film. Pluses and minuses allowed. Rate good or rate bad. A to F. How are you going to rate this one? Andy Conduit Turner.
You know what? Like, it's never gonna have the iconic nature of the original. And going into this, I've seen it before, and I thought, okay, this is gonna be silly. It's a bit of a drop off, but there's something quite infectious about how jolly Angela is.
Yeah.
The creativity of the kills is up there, I would say. You lose some of the camaraderie, and the other characters don't really have any depth. They are largely, with the exception of maybe Molly, there to just be killed off in fairly quick succession.
Yeah.
But I'd be a filthy liar that someone like Angela would cut the tongue out of if I said this wasn't bereft, if this was bereft of any type of fun. Because it
Yeah.
is. It's got some fun things and it's got some creative kills. So I'm going to give this one a C plus.
Yeah. I was thinking I was going to go for a C plus as well. I feel like B territory would maybe be giving it too many plaudits because I feel like there's not really any like there's nothing that the character's not complex enough for us to
Yeah.
really kind of understand, or it could go one way or another. It is pretty much just like a glorified series of kills in a camp film using an iconic character from a previous film. So it doesn't take the franchise in sort of crazy territory. I like the fact that it doesn't lean too heavily into the nature of the character and make that a punchline. I was a little bit worried about that being it. So in a way, it's quite progressive, but I would give it a C plus as well. I think
Very, very good.
very, very good. There we go. Okay, so that is Sleepaway Camp 2. I'm sure we'll get around to Sleepaway Camp 3 eventually, one day. Maybe
Another
Sleepaway
seven
Camp Part
years.
4 in 7 years on the averages, if that
Felissa
works.
Rose returns to number 4.
Yeah, and we'll try and keep everyone up to speed with what's happening with the remake as well as we get news and maybe reveals of casting and stuff like that. I'm sure that'll make it to horror news every week.
Maybe that will influence the timing of us doing more of these films.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But yeah, so thank you, Andy, for being a right horror dude. I don't think I've said that in a long time because it's not been
Hey,
just the two of us in
it's
a while,
taken
is
as
it?
read though, Ben. I don't feel neglected and that you're not valuing our relationship.
Taken as read. Thanks everybody for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron over at patreon.com. There's 50% off on our current ad-free and early access episode tier. Go and have a look. Thanks to Taj Easton for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Please consider giving us a rating or review or a comment. Give us a comment if you enjoyed this episode. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, horrorhangout.co.uk for everything in one place. And next week, we continue the summer extravaganza with motherfucking snakes on a motherfucking plane, with Zara Mary joining us for that.
Yes, lovely to have Zara back. I'm sure it will be. Really been loving everything that she's been doing in horror spaces, and we will see her live at Fright Fest at the end of the month as well. So we thought, what better time to reacquaint ourselves than talk about our summer holiday classic, Snakes
A
on a
summer
Plane,
holiday classic. What a time. And I'm going to be listening to the Snakes on the Plane soundtrack, the Cobra
by Cobra
Starship.
Starship.
I'm
Oh,
going to be listening to that in the build up.
a band. Maybe I'll listen to some I won't listen to Cobra Starship before bed. I'll never get to
You'll
sleep.
never get to sleep. You'll be tapping your toes, clicking your fingers. There we
Guilty
go.
Pleasure. What a song.
What a time.
Or Scandalous. Who knows? Plenty of
Oh,
good songs.
so
Hit
many.
after hit. The city is at war. I know a lot of Cobra Starship
Do
songs.
you know more than me, definitely. Okay, right. That's it. Sleepaway Camp 2. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Yes, good night. And obviously, if you are at summer camp listening to this,
Oh.
and with those long drop toilets, treat yourself.
Rest in peace, the Shit Sisters.
Play a game. See you later.
Bye.